Making the decision to go to college, pursuing an advanced degree or obtaining an industry-recognized certificate is one of the most important decisions an individual will make in their lifetime. When considering an educational institution, there are numerous factors that need to be taken into account before a decision can be made.
Once an individual starts practicing as a forensic psychologist, the work environment that the professional may enter depends on their field of interest and their desire to work with certain patients. The environment for a forensic psychologist can vary from courts, to prisons, to mental hospitals in an office setting.
When exploring areas of study that you are interested in, one recommendation is to first explore the types of jobs and careers in that industry. Oftentimes people find, after obtaining a degree that has set them back a significant amount of money, the career field they have their degree in is either not growing or is underpaid in relation to the cost of the degree.
The modifications of environment introduced by human activity, geographical influences act through society, and cultural tradition has a certain autonomous and reciprocal effect. Although the impact of this will vary with the converse impact of human technological levels, nevertheless there will always be at least the adjustment by price.
Many individuals view surrogate motherhood as a positive addition to the ever-expanding range of technologies now available as remedies for infertility. The United States is unquestionably the world's leader in availability of surrogacy arrangements, because of the liberal policies and efficient programs available there.
The brain has a bigger response to sugar than the body. The brain has a bigger response to sugar than the body.
I never studied art in high school. I never studied art in high school.
If you like orange juice, drink it now. If you like orange juice, drink it now.
Currently, 38% of the world's surface is covered in agriculture. Currently, 38% of the world's surface is covered in agriculture.
Everywhere there's food in our culture, there's sugar. Everywhere there's food in our culture, there's sugar.
Your brain can change in 3 very basic ways to support learning. Your brain can change in 3 very basic ways to support learning.
To me, geography was a living subject. To me, geography was a living subject.
Another difficulty with mythology is that it's open to so many interpretations. Another difficulty with mythology is that it's open to so many interpretations.
This image represents the life cycle of a frog. An adult frog lays eggs, which then get hatched, and embryos emerge out of it, and turns into tadpoles who cling to a water plant. A tadpole uses its external skin to breathe, and its tail keeps growing. After a few days, hind limb starts to appear. A tadpole uses food stored in its tail for survival. Few days later, the front leg starts to appear, and tail becomes shorter. Thus, tadpole turns into a young frog. After a few days, it becomes an adult frog which will lay more eggs to continue its kind.
This bar graph represents the average monthly attendance record for Greenwood College from September to December. The number of students attended the college during the month of September was about 24. The number grew to over 25 students in the month of October. During the last 2 months, the attendance fell dramatically to just about 18 students in the month of December. In conclusion, The attendance dropped during the end of the year, probably because Christmas and New Year holidays. This bar graph represents the climate of Albany for a period of a year. In the beginning of the year the temperature stays at above 20 degrees and then drops until July to below 15 degrees, then grows until the end of year. The precipitation is highest in the middle of the year, at 23 mm in July, while lowest in the beginning and end of the year. In conclusion, the temperature and precipitation are inversely related for the city of Albany.
Good to be with you today. Thanks for making the time available. To start, just the key things I wanted to cover today related to this idea of assessment. And the main thing I want you to think about, the take-home message if you like, is that there are a number of different points in assessment. Well, starting on the left-hand side of the diagram, we have the less structured ways to assess students. Moving on to the right, the more structured methods. So we might go from, say, an informal observation about what is occurring in an incidental way, along to simply structured tools like questionnaires and observation reports, to things like students assessing themselves and moving forward with greater complexity, case studies and the like, and then on the far right-hand side, things like formal exams, public tests and standardized tests, you know, the real high-stakes tests which many students, teachers and parents are concerned about.
According to the speaker, there are a number of key issues concerning assessment. Assessment can range from less structured ways of assessing students to very structured assessments. Informal measures include things such as informal observations. The next type of assessments that are slightly more structured are questionnaires and observation reports. The most structured kinds of assessment are formal exams, public tests, and standardized tests. These tests are high-stakes tests and are of concern to students, teachers, and parents.
There once was a time in American history when the thought of women working for complex, multinational technology companies, giant advertising firms, and massive publishing houses was snickered at behind closed boardroom doors. Today, women are running those companies from some of those very same boardrooms. But although women make up almost half of America's labor force, as of 2005, only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents, and 67 of those 500 companies don't have any women corporate officers. Catalyst, the not-for-profit New York-based women's research organization, points out that its data shows a change over the last 10 years. In 1995, 8.7% of corporate officers in Fortune 500 companies were women. This percentage rose to 16.4% by 2005. While this is progress, they note that at this rate, it would take 40 years for the number of female corporate officers to match the number of male officers. For the few women who have reached the highest ranks, they'd prefer not to talk about their gender. To them, it's no longer an issue.
According to this speaker, historically in America, the notion of women working for complex, multinational companies was secretly mocked by male executives. In America today, however, women are running some of those companies. As of 2005, despite women comprising almost half of America's labor force, only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents. Moreover, it appears that the trend towards more women in top leadership positions has continued, although slowly, over the last 10 years.
In which room of their home would someone usually wash their clothes?
In the bathroom.
Which major branch of science deals with classification of living things?
Biology.
If something such as fabric or medicine is artificially made, not natural, what do we say it is?
Synthetic.
What do we call the first meal of the day?
Breakfast.
Which sweet food is produced by bees?
Honey.